But I do want to show you some things you can do. So anyways, 10-minute mobility. Let's go ahead and start with the roller. We're going to start with the roller long ways on the wall. And I'm just going to lean into it. So it's right down the middle of my spine here. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of just nice and gentle. I can use my arms against the wall to kind of stabilize myself. Nice, a little bit wider foot position. You can't see my feet on the video right now, but I want to get a little bit wider base of support. That way I can support myself as I kind of do a little bit of rock side to side. Okay, stand up nice and tall. You can get your head on the roller. So let's go ahead and just put those arms up in the air and big stretch. We're going to pull down. So I'm pulling the elbows down. I'm opening the chest. And we're going to do that again. Bring arms up and then pull down and open that chest. So just nice and gentle. Notice what's going on here. Notice you get a big pull in the front of the shoulder or the chest. Okay, just notice what's happening, areas that are tight. One more time. Up and then pulling down. Okay, then we're going to put the arms in front of us and we're just going to squeeze the shoulder blades to open. Okay, and again, arms in front, squeezing the shoulder blades to open. Again, noticing what's tight. Can you get a good squeeze back there? Or do you feel real restricted here where everything wants to dump forward? We need to be able to stand up. This is part of our posture, right? Most of us have really poor posture, whether that's from just a lack of paying attention to how we walk, we move or we walk or we sit, or just from years of sitting in front of a computer, whatever it might be. Back pain throws us into a horrible posture position, whatever it might be. And one more time, open up. Nice. So now we're just going to alternate arms, side to side. Just moving things around. Try to squeeze those shoulder blades in back. Just getting some movement here. Trying to keep the shoulders back as best as possible. So for one of those people with those rounded shoulders, we really want to try to pull them back so we can get full range of motion with those shoulders. Go ahead and go back to holding the wall. We're just going to little roll side to side, maybe further onto that shoulder blade. Okay, go ahead and flip those palms up. So that way the palms are away from the wall. You have the back side of your hand on the wall. Or just a little bit of roll side to side. You might find some stuff on one of your shoulder blades. It's okay to kind of hang out there, give it a little extra, little roll. Okay, and then go back. A little extra roll on this side. See what you can find. Okay, so now I'm going to have to turn my back to you. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I'm going to roll onto the back of my shoulder, okay? I'm just going to kind of check out what's there. I've got my arm straight out for right now. I'm just kind of leaning into that roller. Finding some stuff, kind of ironing it out. When you find a little spot that might be tender, okay, kind of hold onto it, press against it, and see if you can move your arm around. Play with the different arm positions. So you might find like this position here doesn't do a whole lot, but if you bend the arm and you go back and forth with it, you might find that that's really a good spot for you. I'm going to turn her over on the other side. Now if you find something, you can always go back later. For sake of time, I'm just going to move on. Okay, so I'm kind of rolling the back side of that shoulder, going onto the shoulder blade, and then going over onto the back of the shoulder, and checking things out. Kind of moving that arm around so I find something. And again, you can bend the arm. You can see what I was doing on the other side. Nice. Okay, relieving some of the tightness back there. And you might find stuff right as the shoulder, the back of the shoulder and the shoulder blade, where that area where it meets is. You kind of hang out there, same thing. Those little rotator cuff muscles get way overused. Kind of iron that out. Let's go ahead and switch. Again, I'm going to stand up straight and I'm going to go to the front. So you're going to get my back side here. Sorry about that. We're going to go right here, just so you know where I'm at. So I'm going to go to the junction where the pec comes into that front of the shoulder. A lot of good stuff in there usually. And I'm just going to kind of lean. I'm using my other hand here to support. This arm is straight out. Just going to kind of roll across that area. We can play with the arm position. We can bend it and then roll in here. If you really want to get into a little bit more pressure, you can always get low. And get low with it. Roll. Here we can Pin it down. Good stretch here. Right on the front of that arm. Play with the arm position. Fan it out. There's a spot right there. And then let's go and switch to the other side. See what I'm doing on this side? I'm kind of using this arm as support. The other arm straight out. Just rolling right across the pec and then a little bit on the front of that shoulder. See what I can find there first. Just kind of checking it out. Okay, and then I'll start those arm movements up and down, kind of snow angel style. Okay. Up and down, bending the arm now. Going up and down. Up, right in there is a good spot. So I'm using the foam roller to kind of limit the range of motion, and then I'm kind of forcing my arm to go through that range of motion. So we call that a kind of a pin and stretch, where I'm pinning down those muscles or those attachments, and then I'm forcing that arm to go through that range of motion, which really starts to stretch those areas. Do a couple more on this side, playing with the arm motion. Okay, so I'm going to come off. I'm going to go back to the back again. I thought we gave the legs a little bit of a break. So I'm going to go back to that mid-back with the roller. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of roll up and down. Okay, just kind of getting that upper back. So I'm hitting about the bottom of the shoulder blades in the back there. A little higher there. Right about there. And I'm going to roll down. A little bit of a leg workout here. And then from here, I'm just going to roll over the top of it, arching the back, and then I'm going to round the back. I'm going to arch the back and round. You can play with the roller position here, so you can move it in different spots. Go back and forth. Up one more time, upper back. One more time. You can hang out here. Kind of do a little roll if you want to that mid back. I'm using my legs to kind of push against. Again, you can stand up further if it's too much on the legs. And just go up and down. Doesn't have to be super intense. We just want to find those areas that maybe stand out. So here in this position, I'm finding I can kind of get the side. I'm not on my spine. I'm kind of rolling right next to my spine. I can kind of go back and forth on a little tender spot, move it down a little, finding some little spots that pop out. You can also give yourself a big hug, which will pop out some of those muscles a little more, so that you can kind of back and forth, a little cross fiber friction across those muscles that run up and down along your spine. Switch to the other side. Little spot there. Go up and down with it. I can physically move the roller down a little. Moving side to side. Yeah, you can get a little bit further. We're going to do one more thing, go a little bit further. So right now I have the roller just below where my shoulder blades are. So about almost to the bottom of the rib cage. Okay, I'm going to cross over, and I'm just going to do a nice gentle rotation. Yeah, the area gets a little tight in there. Those muscles work overtime. So I'm just giving just a little rotation. Making sure you breathe, trying to relax through it. Even when you find a tense area, we want to try to breathe as much as possible. So I'm going to roll my body forward just a little bit, pop out some of those muscles. There's a good spot right in here. You also might feel like it's stretched through the hip. Got a little bit of a stretch down the outside of that hip. Kind of right here. But that's personal. Your body is your body. What you get out of it is totally up to you. Get a little crack, a little self-adjustment. Okay. And I'm just going to do one big roll just because I can. Okay. Well, guys, that is your 10-minute mobility segment with me.